Hi all, myself Anshita Aravind. Today I am here with a new topic, micturition reflex, and in this section we are discussing the definition of micturition and brief anatomy of urinary bladder, nerve supply to the urinary bladder and pathway of micturition reflex, and also briefly the abnormalities of micturition process. Shall we start the section? So we already said that we are today talking about micturition reflex. Then what is reflex? We all know reflex is an involuntary and nearly instantaneous action in response to a stimulus, and it is mediated via reflex arc formed in the spinal cord. So we can simply say the definition for micturition. It is a reflex by which urinary bladder empties when it is filled, though it is a reflex process. We already said that reflex is an involuntary process, but in adults it can be controlled voluntarily to some extent. So the definition for micturition is given here. So next we will recollect the anatomy of urinary bladder. We all know urinary bladder is a hollow organ and having two parts, namely the body and neck part, and the body is formed by detrusor muscle and the neck has a trigone in its posterior aspect, and emptying of bladder is mainly guarded by internal and external sphincter mechanism. An internal sphincter, it is completely involuntary mechanism and it is made up of smooth muscles, and external sphincter, it is voluntary in nature and it is made up of skeletal muscles. Here I added the image of a urinary bladder, and in the image you can see the detrusor muscles. The detrusor muscle is present on the body of the bladder. We already said that the bladder have two parts, the body part and a neck region. So detrusor is present on the body of the bladder and it is capable of contraction and expansion in responsible to any stimuluses. Thus it is mainly responsible for the emptying of the urinary bladder. And the picture we can also see the internal and external sphincters and peritoneal covering around the urinary bladder and entrance of ureter and opening into the urethra. So the entrance of ureter and opening into the urethra, it will form a triangle shape and or trigone at the neck region of the urinary bladder. Innervation of bladder. Innervation means supply of nerve to any organ or part of the body. Here in a supply of nerve into the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder and internal sphincter are supplied by both the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve fibers. The sympathetic supply from L1 and L2, that is the hypogastric nerves, and parasympathetic supply from the S2, S3 and S4 by the pelvic nerves. The urinary bladder and the internal sphincter is supplied with the sympathetic and parasympathetic system, and the external sphincter is supplied by somatic nerve fibers, and the pelvic nerve also have the sensory fibers and which carry impulses from stretch receptors present on the wall of the urinary bladder and urethra. And the picture we can see both the sympathetic and parasympathetic involuntary nerves and the voluntary somatic nerves in the external sphincters. Next we will discuss the characteristics of sympathetic and parasympathetic supply. The sympathetic nervous system, it will supply the nerve, that is hypogastric nerve, and the stimulation of this nerve may causes relaxation of the detrusor muscles and constriction of internal sphincter, and it results in filling of the bladder. So the nerve is known as nerve of filling. And when we consider the parasympathetic supply, the stimulation of the pelvic nerve, it may causes contraction of the detrusor muscles and relaxation of the internal sphincter, which is just opposite to the sympathetic supply, and it results in emptying of bladder. So this nerve is called the nerve of micturition. Next is the function of the pudendal nerves. Pudendal nerves, otherwise known as the somatic nerve fibers, which is present on the external sphincter of the urinary bladder, and the pudendal nerves always keep the external sphincter in constricted state, and when this nerve is blocked, the external sphincter relaxes since it is a somatic nerve fiber and it can be controlled voluntarily. Next, filling of urinary bladder. Urine fills the urinary bladder drop by drop through ureters, and when volume of urine reaches nearly 150 ml, first sense of filling occurs. But a marked sense of filling occurs only at about 400 ml, and there is a threshold level in urine volume which decide whether to form micturition reflex or not, and the threshold level is adjusted by the higher centers of the micturition. We already said that the threshold level is maintained by the higher centers for micturition. So centers for micturition is of two types, that is a spinal center and higher centers. The spinal centers is located on the sacral and lumbar segments, and it is controlled by the higher centers of brain. And the higher centers has facilitatory and inhibitory centers, and the facilitatory center is located on the pontine region and posterior region of the hypothalamus, and inhibitory center is located on the midbrain. In the filling of urinary bladder, we already discussed that a marked sense of filling occurs only at about 400 ml. So, when the volume of urine in the bladder reaches nearly 400 ml, the intravisceral pressure increases. So, the bladder wall stretches, and the stretch receptors on the bladder wall are activated, and a sensory signal is given to the spinal centers through the sensory fibers of parasympathetic nerves, and the reflex arc is produced in the spinal cords. So, the motor signal is given to the urinary bladder through motor fiber of parasympathetic nerves, that is the pelvic nerve. Now the signal reaches the urinary bladder. As a result of the parasympathetic activity, detrusor muscles contract and internal sphincter relaxes, and urine passes down into the proximal urethra. Again, afferent impulses is given into the spinal cord, and afferent impulses reaches the higher centers in the brain. And if the signal from the brainstem is to micturate, and impulse created from the spinal center block the pudendal nerves. At the same time, sympathetic efferent are inhibited, so external sphincter relaxes and micturition occurs. If the signal from the brainstem is not to micturate, sympathetic efferents are stimulated. As a result, detrusor expands and internal sphincter constrict, and external sphincter remain constricted. So the urine continue to accumulate in the bladder. Here I added the pathway for the reflex mechanism, and when a stretch receptor get activated, it will send an impulses or sensory afferent into the brainstem, and from the brainstem there is a motor neuron is started. Both the parasympathetic and sympathetic motor activity is generated, and it will reaches the urinary bladder and produce an activity such as nerve impulses stimulate the relaxation of the internal urethral sphincter muscles, and micturations happen. Once a micturition reflex has occurred but has not succeeded in emptying the bladder, what will happen then? The reflex remain in inhibited stage for 1 minute up to an hour before the reflex occurs again, and as bladder become more and more filled, the micturition reflex occurs more and more often and more and more powerfully too. Here is a brief intro about the abnormalities in micturition. In all the bladder dysfunctions, the contractions occurs, but they are insufficient to empty the bladder completely. So a residual urine is left in the bladder always, and the times deafferentation and denervation and absence of regulation by higher centers. These are the main types of abnormalities in the micturition, and the detailed section of the abnormalities will be discussed on the later sessions. Thank you all.